Is it because they're all a bunch of pussies? Nah. Actually, maybe. Let's go find out. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're getting into why I think automotive technicians are leaving the industry and the main things in my shop that I notice before they leave. Let's get into it. First thing I notice when a new technician starts at the dealership, usually they're young, they're just getting into the industry, and it seems like they expect instant success within a couple months of working on cars, whatever dealership at a shop. They expect it to just go really smooth and they'll start making more money and start getting raises, and that's not the case at all. When you first start out as an automotive technician, you need to be fully committed to it, and it's going to take a couple years of experience in working at the dealership or shop, really gaining that experience so you become more confident and more efficient in fixing the cars. So when they don't make as much money as they thought they would, when they go from hourly to flat rate, and when they go to flat rate, they're not making too much money, that's when I see people leave, call it quits, say this industry sucks, blah, blah, blah. So just keep that in mind when you first start out. It's not going to be instant. You're going to have to work your way into becoming a good tech, just like anything else. And really, when you start out new, you got to show that you really want to work. You got to have the grit. You got to be, like I said, fully committed. And you just have to bust your ass for those first couple years. And pretty much what I tell myself when I first started out, my goal was to eventually run circles around the top technician in the shop. So that took years and years and years, and now I'm proud to say that I am one of the top technicians at the shop. But guys, it takes a while, so keep that in mind. And another mistake people get discouraged is not really knowing how much it takes to become an efficient, good technician and the commitment and discipline that goes along with it. You don't just go in there and just lackadaisy work on cars. At least where I come from, you need to move at a fast pace. You need to be super efficient. Think about all the things you do throughout the day. Stay off your phone. Minimize the distractions. All that stuff. Like the good old saying, time is money. Especially when you're flat rate, you need to keep things rolling and really keep it going and be super focused. So that's another thing I feel like people don't realize when they get into the industry, is that it does take a lot of focus to become successful and to start making over 6 figures a year, which is definitely possible. And when that doesn't happen, they leave. Another reason I see people leaving is that they're just fed up with the flat rate pay system. For those of you that don't know what flat rate is, if let's say a job pays 3 hours and it takes you an hour and a half to do it, you get paid that 3 hours, which is great. If the same job pays 3 hours, it takes you 5 hours to do it because a bolt snapped or you're fighting rust or something went wrong during the job, it took you 5 hours, you're only getting paid the 3. So there's the pros and cons of it, but usually when you have more experience and you do things over and over, especially if you're working at a dealership, same manufacturer, you become more efficient at doing the jobs, so then you can get them done in under the book time, the flat rate time. You become more efficient without taking shortcuts and being a shady mechanic. Therefore, over time, you start to make more and more money. You work your way up the ladder, and that's the name of the game. But when people don't do that, and in the beginning, they see that they're still not, getting the jobs done quick enough, they get discouraged by that, and then they say adios, and they're out. So, guys, with the flat rate system, yes, the first couple of years, you might not be making the time that you want to make because you can't get the jobs done quick enough just because you're too new. But it takes time. The more time you do it, the more times you do it, the more experience you have, The quicker you're going to get the job done, the more money you're going to make. Keep in mind it takes time. Think about it before you leave. Next reason is I see people leave because they just get fed up with the people that they work with, whether it's management or for us technicians, maybe they're sick of dealing with the advisors. I see technicians not being able to trust their advisors 100%. The communication is all messed up between the technicians and advisors. So that's a big reason. Maybe if the dealership got a bad reputation from previous management and now the workflow is low, there's not enough work coming in through the door. When you're flat rate, you need work coming in through the door, obviously. No work, no money. So that's another reason is low workflow and just not getting along with management, whatever the reasons are, but I've heard people say it. Guys, and just to help with that, the low workflow, there's nothing really you can do about that. But when it comes to management and coworkers and whatever, don't worry about them. Plain and simple. If you just do your job, keep your head down, focus on what you gotta do, and set goals for yourself, who cares about what everyone else is doing? Yeah, people are gonna piss you off on certain things that they do and the certain ways they do it, but if you could just continue to hit your own goal and work towards your own goal, whatever it is, to become shop foreman, to become team leader, to consistently hit 60 hours a week, do that. Forget all the other stuff. Focus on the one goal. I'm telling you. And some technicians, I do see that they act like they need special treatment. Maybe they're a little too sensitive to things, and that's why their relationship between management and advisors and whatever are kind of messed up because they're just too sensitive, plain and simple. It's a tough industry to work in and to become efficient at it and to make decent money. I know I'm talking into the six figures. No time for someone being too sensitive. Like I said, focus on what you gotta do, help out your technicians, but really keep your eyes on the prize on what your personal goal is. And the last thing that leads to technicians leaving is their lack of confidence in repairing the cars. When you're new, you don't really know what you're doing, your confidence is gonna be low in repairing the cars, you're gonna be asking questions, which is totally fine, but as you start to work there longer, I see newer technicians, they're almost too scared to take on bigger jobs because they're worried that they can't do it and it's a lack of confidence. Or they're afraid of taking on whatever the case is, whatever the job is. They feel that they can't do it, meaning they're not going to have there's no growth, because the harder jobs you do, the better technician you are, the more you get paid eventually. So when you limit yourself because you don't have any confidence, you limit your growth, and then that's when people stay stagnant. They don't get raises because they're not growing, and then they leave the industry. So that's something, guys, try to take on something new, no matter what it is. It's a whole learning process. Don't look at it as being afraid of it. Look at it as, what can I learn from this for the next time so I can be better at it? That's the name of the game. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know if I missed anything. Give me your opinion. Don't forget to subscribe. Catch you on the next one.